Hey guys, John Jr. here, bringing you guys another BBR video. This time, week 1 team builder versus Mountaih, who you can check out in the top right hand corner right now. Mountaih is a very good battler. I actually don't know very much about him, but I did watch one of his videos and he wore a suit and he promised me he would wear a suit in this battle. So if he doesn't do that, I think I'm going to go ahead and claim forfeit win. If you guys missed the team builder, be sure to check it out in the top right hand corner. We have some amazing threats like Annihilape, Walking Wake, and of course, Zapdos. I almost forgot what the third Pokemon was. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Mountaih's team. Mountaih picked round 1 Regieleki and made it his Terra Captain, Terra Grass, and Ice. Grass, of course, is going to be what he is going to be in this matchup 9 times out of 10, unless he anticipates us not to bring Quagsire, in which case he would be Ice specifically to 2-hit KO Zapdos and potentially Brambleghast. Otherwise, Grass is always the play here. He gets walled up by our Quagsire otherwise. And the Regieleki matchup is weird. It's pretty good, but it's not like great. It definitely has to come, and if we let things get chipped, it is going to overwhelm us, but it's not the best Pokemon in the world against us. But his other Pokemon are going to be Urshifu Rapid, Zoroark Hisui, Iron Leaves, Moltres, Tinkaton, Braviary Hisui. We have the Regidrago, Dugtrio, Morgrem, and Venomoth. A lot of these Pokemon are really tough to bring into me, and I don't necessarily love Mountaih's matchup into us, but I do think we can get overwhelmed pretty easily with Urshifu plus Hisui and Zoroark. So I think his top 3 Pokemon are going to have to come every single time. And then honestly, I have no idea what the hell else he's going to bring. Regidrago could come, Moltres could come, Tinkaton could come, Iron Leaves could come, Dugtrio could come, Venomoth could come, even Hisui and Braviary. Though the Pokemon that I do expect are probably going to be Moltres, Regidrago, and Tinkaton. Could bring Dugtrio potentially for the Torkoal trap in the Torkoal, but even then I'm Heat Rock, so if he kills me, then so be it. I'll go right out into Walking Wake. So I don't know. Maybe he values that, maybe he doesn't. We'll see what he ends up valuing. Urshifu Rapid is pretty difficult for my team to deal with as far as a set goes. Probably a bulk up set, bulk up 3 attack, Ice Spinner, Surging Strike, and Close Combat. That set can get pretty scary pretty quickly, but he could also just be AV. He might need to be AV because his water resist is, of course, you look at his team, Urshifu and Iron Leaves does not really want to switch into Walking Wake. So Urshifu might have to be AV to take 2 hits from our Walking Wake. And then Hisui and Zoroark, I might expect potentially Scarf to outspeed a Walking Wake in the sun. And then the other Pokemon, I got no idea, man. I really don't know what to expect. Moltres as a specially defensive Pokemon is kind of nice, other than, of course, our Walking Wake and Zapdos, which absolutely annihilate it. Tinkaton is really nice to switch into things like the Zapdos. Again, it has really good special defense, as well as the Galarian Slowking, but otherwise it does really poor. And then Regidrago offensively does really good. Dugtrio could also come trap a few different things like the Glow King as well as the Torkoal. And then Iron Leaves, could maybe we see an AV Iron Leaves for our Walking Wake. Mountaih's team, in my opinion, isn't the best, but it's super difficult to prep for because he has so many decent Pokemon that could come into the matchup. I kind of feel like I have to prep for every single one. As far as our team, our first Pokemon is going to be Walking Wake. But before we talk about Walking Wake, let's go ahead and talk about how only 25% of my viewers are subscribed. It's absolutely free, man. The growth has been insane. We're almost at 1,700 subscribers at the time of my recording this, and you guys are helping fuel my dream. If you could continue to do so, if you're not already subscribed, you keep watching, you keep coming back, please hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me and helps me live out my dream, man. Walking Wake is going to be crucial in this matchup because its only resist to Walking Wake is going to be the Urshifu Rapid, which isn't a great resist at the end of the day. We're Hydro Steam, Draco, Meteor, Flamethrower, and Dragon Dance. Hydro Steam's pretty unresisted. Draco just in case he is an AV Urshifu and we can pick it off with a Draco. Flamethrower is there specifically for the Tinkaton, I guess, because in the sun it is going to do a lot of damage. And then we didn't really need a 4th move, so I went Dragon Dance because it gives us the potential to outspeed the Regieleki in the sun. So if there's ever a situation where we just barely are going to lose because we're not fast enough, we do have Dragon Dance to try to outspeed whatever it is that we wouldn't outspeed otherwise. We have 8 HP, 184 special attack, 100 special defense, and 216 speed timid. With this speed, we can outspeed the Iron Leaves as well as get the speed boost in the sun, which I think is crucial just in case he is going to be Scarf on some of these Pokemon like Iron Leaves, Urshifu, maybe even Tinkaton, man. Even though I highly doubt it, Scarf could come on the Tinkaton. And while special attack boosting is fantastic in this matchup, I don't think we necessarily need it. We can live a timid Life Orb Regieleki Thunderbolt from 75%, and that is important. That is timid because I highly anticipate him to be timid. If he is not timid, our Walking Wake will outspeed in the sun. So if he is modest, if we can like look at some rolls and guess that he is modest, or potentially Magnet, I suppose. We're gonna have to be careful about those calcs, but if he is modest, we find that out, we can outspeed him under the sun, which is fantastic. And then of course the rest in special attack to do as much damage as possible, and we have Mystic Water because Hydro Steam is highly unresisted. This Pokemon's purpose is to be a breaker. That is the only reason it is here, to get in early and do as much damage as possible. Our next Pokemon is going to be the enabler. For that, it's going to be Torkoal. We're not going to talk too much about Torkoal, but Torkoal is going to be Drought with the Heat Rock, with Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Lava Plume, and Rock Tomb. This Pokemon being our remover is a little uncomfortable, but it does always come in on the Tinkaton for free, which is Mountaih's only rocker besides Dugtrio. So if the Tinkaton does come, we come in on that for free and get a Rapid Spin off the following turn. We are Lava Plume and Rock Tomb, and that is because Lava Plume has no switch-ins except for the Moltres. Urshifu can switch in, but if it gets burned, we're in a really good situation. And then Rock Tomb is able to eventually beat that Moltres in a one-on-one situation. So Torkoal actually has some usability outside of simply being Sunsetter. And we have 248 HP, 28 defense with a relaxed nature, 8 special attack, and 224 special defense. This allows us to live 2 Hyper Voices from a non-boosting timid Hisuian Zoroark, which I do probably anticipate him to be max speed Scarf potentially. And then we have 8 special attack just to break a sub from an Urshifu that has no HP investment with Lava Plume, and then we just went the rest into defense with a plus defense nature. I highly doubt that Lava Plume calc is ever going to come into play, because I don't even think sub is going to come, but it's one of those just in case moments. Ooh, our next Pokemon I am so excited to talk to you guys about. We have Spanky, who is going to be the team leader, who is going to be the Terra captain, and we are Terra Fairy this week. Terra Water did objectively better in the matchup, but just because of how prevalent Regieleki is, we opted to go Terra Fairy just to have a different opportunity to set up on a couple of different Pokemon. We are going to be Rest, Bulk Up, Rage Fist, and Thief, and we are Resto Chesto with Thief, which I think is really cool because we can thieve whatever the Hisuian Zoroark is going to have, whether it be a Scarf or some other type of item. We can thieve that Pokemon, or even after a rest, we can thieve something if he wants to sack it off and get some sort of item on this Pokemon. Bulk Up is going to be a little bit difficult to set up, but with our Terra Fairy, it makes it a little bit easier to set up on a couple of different Pokemon, such as Iron Leaves, and for even Regidrago, and this Pokemon could get in prime position to win the game. We are primarily specially defensive with 248 HP, 4 attack, max special defense with a plus nature, and then 4 speed. We are just this, so we have a chance to take 3 non-boosting Regieleki Thunderbolts, and then we have Bulk Up, so we don't really need to take any physical hits except for maybe the Urshifu, but if we can get set up before the Urshifu comes in, that is what ideally is going to happen. Our next Pokemon is going to be really cool, a really cool set this week. We're going to be an offensive Zapdos with the heavy duty boots with Roost, U-Turn, Thunderbolt, and Heat Wave. We could have very easily not been heavy duty boots, but because of how much I think Torkoal is going to get chipped down in this game, I decided why not, let's just opt for heavy duty boots. That way we don't get in a really tough situation to where we have to take 25% every time the Zapdos comes in, because this is going to be a very nice pivot. We are Roost, U-Turn, Thunderbolt, and Heat Wave. All of these moves have a purpose. Roost is here for longevity, U-Turn grants us a lot of momentum, and I did unfortunately respect the Dugtrio with the U-Turn not going Volt Switch. And then we have Thunderbolt and Heat Wave. Thunderbolt is obviously very good stab, pretty unresisted, and then Heat Wave for the likes of Tinkaton and even a Terra Grass Regieleki. I got a little bit aggressive with our speed creep. We have enough speed to creep Urshifu, creeping us, creeping him, creeping Annihilape. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, but essentially we can probably outspeed the Urshifu that he is going to bring in this matchup, unless it is Scarf, especially because I anticipate it to be more especially defensive. We can live a Regieleki Explosion because we had enough EVs to do so just in case. And we live 2 modest Hisuian Zoroark Shadow Balls. I don't think he is going to be modest, but just in case, that is the number we hit. And then we went the rest into special attack. And Zapdos hits hard, man. People forget that this Pokemon has a 125 base special attack stat. Very hard hitting Pokemon, very good Pokemon. It's going to be crucial to get in at this Pokemon as early as possible, which might even be our lead depending on what is brought, and get some momentum, get some pivots off, gets into Annihilape, get into some of our other Pokemon to prime them in a good position to break. Our next Pokemon is going to be a little bit lame of a set, but we are going to be Galarian Slowking, simply max HP, max special defense, rock friendly number of HP with the Assault Vest, and this is to take hits better from the Regieleki, even from the Hisuian Zoroark, the Moltres, whatever the case may be. We can take hits from pretty much anything. The only thing about this Slowking is we are going to have to play kind of conservatively with it if the Dugtrio does come, but otherwise this Pokemon is great. Mountaih's Dark type is going to be Morgrem, so we went with a Future Sight, Psyshock, Sludge Bomb, and Flamethrower set. Double Psychic hits pretty much everything. Sludge Bomb for poisons on things like Hisuian Braviary. Also hit things like the Regieleki if they are Terra Grass. And just, it's pretty unresisted. And then Flamethrower for specifically the Tinkaton. And this mon, again, is going to primarily be our Regieleki pivot, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but it is what it is. And then our last Pokemon, we had 3 Pokemon in this slot that were fighting for this slot and the Galarian Slowking slot, and the 2 that didn't make it were Grimmsnarl, who was going to be here to set screens, try to make Annihilape's time a little bit easier, which definitely I think could have been vital, but I think that this Pokemon was a little more important, unfortunately. And then the other Pokemon was going to be Quagsire just for the Regieleki. We could have been Rindo, but I think that we can deal with the Regieleki without the Quagsire. And this Pokemon is going to be Brambleghast. Yeah, we're going to be Strength Sap, Spikes, Power Whip, and Shadow Sneak. Just dual stabs. We are going to be Strength Sap, and this is going to be our switch into potentially the Urshifu Rapid. Spikes are going to be very important because he does not have a single remover on his team besides the Regieleki. Power Whip is pretty unresisted, and the Shadow Sneak hits things like the Iron Leaves. And we are going to be Wind Rider just because I don't think Infiltrator was very important, and the fact that we could potentially get hit by some wind moves from the Hisuian Braviary or the Moltres, I think makes it kind of nice to have the Wind Rider just in case. We are going to be Boots as well, just in case. Like there are a lot of items I could have went on this Pokemon. I thought about Rocky Helmet, I thought about Leftovers, but I ultimately decided Heavy Duty Boots just in case Torkoal goes down. This Pokemon is going to need to be able to switch in and not take Hazard Jump. We're max HP, rock friendly, number of HP, 8 attack, 148 defense impish, and 104 special defense. We can live a +1 Ice Spinner from the Urshifu, and we live 2 Reggie T-Bolts if they are Life Orb modest. I don't think they will be modest, so I think we should take them pretty comfortably. And if they are Terra Blast Ice, then this Pokemon gets fucked by Regieleki. But we should be pretty okay, and that is going to be the team, guys. It's a little bit of a weird team. Potential lead Zapdos, offensive Zapdos. Our breakers are going to be Zapdos as well as Walking Wake. Torkoal is here to put Mountaih in an uncomfortable position, get some burns for us. Brambleghast is here for the Urshifu and the Regieleki. Slowking is here for specifically the Regieleki. And then of course our last mon, Annihilape Spanky, is going to be the win con and super important. That is going to be the team, guys. I think we can win with it. I don't think it's my best team of all time, but I do think that Walking Wake just has such a good matchup. We can put him in a pretty bad position pretty early on. If the Doug Trio is Bra, I'm probably going to lead Zapdos. If the Doug Trio is not Bra, I'm probably going to lead Torkoal. Let me know what you guys thought of this team down below, and if you guys are excited for this BBR season to be back. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.